most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove him. Oh, it was a short tweet, but there's so much to address there. He did come out here like that. He came out exactly like that. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. This is Racist of the Week, where we expose the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect human. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can drop them in the comments. You can email me at admin@reeswaters.com. Well, y'all know why we're here. Heard that favorite in your body. Now, I have a bit of a confession to make, and I'm not proud of it, and neither should any American be proud of this. I saw that late at night with the headline, Trump posts racist video depicting the Obamas as monkeys, and my immediate reaction was, of course he did. Of course he did. Shock and surprise was on zero. Just think about that. Shock and surprise was on zero for the president posting a monkey meme of one of his predecessors who was black. That's where we're at in 2026. And you know where else we're at? We're at a place where the president has to throw red meat to his base to remind them he's still racist, to distract them from them files. When you're so tired of people calling you a PDF that you post something to make them call you a racist instead is certainly a choice. That's where we at. This man came out. I knew. At least I'm still racist. Y'all, you know my just as black and racist as he used to be. So I made some missteps in my past. I still take shots at them though. And you know what? As sad as that was, for a lot of MAGAs, that was enough. Okay, Trump may be a PDF, but at least he's still racist. You know that just warmed them hungry hearts. Them hungry, jobless, farmless hearts all across America, hit by all the tariffs as well as the ACA increase, just warming the feet of racists all across America. The filthy feet, because your shoes got repoed. Yes, it warmed them feet. And you know what? You know what else can warm your feet as well? Is the complete mismanagement of this from the administration. I mean, they couldn't manage Minneapolis. That was to be expected. To the point where a year into this administration, they can't manage a meme. First, the White House press secretary defended Trump's racist tweet and mocked fake outrage coming from the critics. Now they're saying a staffer posted it around midnight and that the tweet has been deleted. Tell us another one. Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite when they shifted blame around like old Epstein recipes. This is my favorite. When they try and give Trump cover and he blows it up anyway and tries to take credit so he can make sure he scores points with his MAGA base. That's my favorite. When they try and clean it up and he just comes out filthy. MAGA, Trump was betrayed by the poor justice staff when he posted this outrageous video. Trump, I gave it to them to post. That's y'all's president. That's y'all's president. Don't get in those schemes with Trump. That's why these people be locked up. That's why all these people don't get in those schemes with Trump. Because that's how they be moving. My favorite, when they tried to cover for the Jimmy Kimmel thing, and they were like, oh, well, that was an independent decision. And Charlie, hey, Jimmy Kimmel, he should be canceled. Hey, you know, I just, yeah. He convinced 3 women to marry him. Okay, that's a lot. Yes, I do. I've seen money before.
If the best quarter results we've ever seen.
How did I get to this point? Monday.com. Let's make this short. I run our client portfolio. We used to deliver 6 big client projects a quarter. Not too bad. Leadership was satisfied, and the process won.
The White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to find it?
I looked at it, I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud. That I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud in and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody did. Then they posted, and we took it down, and we did it. Yeah. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
The number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake.
Reporter, the White House said the staffer sent that video. Are you going to fire the staffer? No, I looked at it. I didn't see the whole thing. I gave it to the people. They posted it. Are you going to apologize? No, I didn't make a mistake. Now, here's a word to anybody that's watching, any of our younger viewers, anybody that's in a situation where they're trying to suss out the truth. Look for the multiple excuses, especially the ones that contradict one another.
I gotta get up early tomorrow. I think I'm getting sick. No, I was sick already, but my immune system is whack.
I called in sick to work that day. I wasn't feeling well. I didn't leave bed all day. And also, I was at a conference in Boston. Look for. That's what you need to look for. Suss out the truth. So let me get this straight.
Okay.
So
you
gave it to the people and you didn't see the whole thing. You later deleted it, but didn't want to claim you didn't make a mistake. You know, this must be that accountability that the MAGAs always be. This must be that accountability the MAGAs always be talking about. Right? It's the staffer's fault. I didn't make a mistake. I didn't watch the whole thing before I gave it to him. Well, I can't be expected to watch I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm the president of the United States. I can't be expected to watch old content that I post on my social media. How many times did I post? 60, over 60 that night. Yeah.
Banger!
Late into the night.
Come on, white boy. Man.
Yeah. Breaking, the anonymous White House staffer who posted that racist meme on Trump's social media account was also mentioned in the Epstein files 38,000 times. And that is a minimum. And that is a minimum. I have another question while we're on the topic. Why was that staffer, why were you contacting staffers that time of night? What's going on? Did you hand it to them personally? Like you handed them your phone so they were physically with you at that time? How did that, or did you send it to them? Because if you send it to them, it's a large file. You probably could have watched that. What did Melania say when the staffer came in that time of night in order to get the meme to post on your social media? That better be a clip from my movie. That better be a clip from my movie you posted. Because you posted all this nonsense. You ain't helped promote my movie not one time. You You got to be in the spotlight all the time. I'm sitting at 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. About to take the viewer scores down because they realized that was
Big Thunder. Come on, Big Dog.
It's not my fault you folks don't know how to use computers and we had to go to fights. From J.B. Pritzker, Donald Trump is a racist, to which we get from the official GOP account, J.B. Pritzker is morbidly obese. Republicans, y'all brand in the trash. Y'all brand is in the trash. From the official GOP account, if you would have told me in 2016 we were sending Donald Trump in to absolutely destroy your party, I would have taken it. And it's been a circuitous route, and we have a lot of threats to our democracy. But I'll be doggone, man. I'll be doggone. Morbid from the official GOP account. And that's beside the point that you didn't even engage with the comment that he made. What part of J.B. Pritzker being morbidly obese makes Donald Trump crazy? What? What of J.B. Pritzker's diet makes Donald Trump not racist? Trump may be racist, but you're fat isn't the sick burn whatever moron runs the GOP account thinks it is. You still got the kids running the account. Y'all ain't learned. Y'all ain't learned. You had a staffer.
Damn, that's how you got to reveal when you got Wendy and Zara on your fucking
this what you
team.
got going on the official
and
deal.
Hey, fucking
Republicans, I hope y'all. I know y'all gave up the power of the purse, which is supposed to be part of our checks and balances, but y'all gave up the power of messaging. Y'all just y'all out here looking crazy. I'll be honest. Y'all looking worse than the Turning Point USA halftime show. And the fact that Kid Rock has conned y'all into playing one song at every event.
Don't put that shit up, man.
Let me guess. American Badass, right? Let me guess.
As a small business owner, you need a tax service that lets you focus on your business while maximizing savings and providing year-round support. Try to...
Black voters have been great. I've been great to them.
Oklahoma. Damn it, Wendy, jump that shit.
Been a great position. Think of what I've done. Remember?
Okay, I'm going to be like the official GOP account and not even engage with the nonsense premise that he is the least president we've had in a long time. I just wanted to point out the fact that for you to say you're the least racist president we've had in a long time, do you think that the presidents were less racist in America's past?
Joins us from the sidelines. Allie?
I'm here with Coach Tyloo, and Coach, your team seems to be dictating the tempo of the game thus far. Are you happy with that aspect right now?
Do you think as we go through American history, back through the 20th century, before the Civil Rights Act, going through the 20s into the 19th century, Reconstruction, the Civil War era, are you under the impression that the presidents were less racist?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Just that thought itself would literally make you the most racist. Like, just that would make you the most racist. I got a comment. I don't know if he can be held responsible for his knowledge of American history. I mean, this is the same guy who said they were defending the airports during the Revolutionary War.
Our army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Hey, Trump, this has picked up steam. The staffer excuse is not working for you. You gonna need one of the black MAGAs to come out and defend you here. Well, just call whoever's available. From Tim Scott, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. Oh, it was a short tweet, but there's so much to address there. He did come out here like that. He came out exactly like that.
The video that Trump posted about the Obamas is racist and vile. It should make you angry, and we shouldn't let people look away. But I worked for President Obama for 5 years, and I need to make a couple points. First, they can handle themselves. The Obamas have endured 15 years of this garbage. Birtherism, caricatures, death threats, you name it. And they've done it with more grace and class than the entire MAGA movement combined. And despite what Tim Scott says, this isn't even close to the most racist thing Trump has done. It's just the latest. Second, what the Obamas would want, what they've always told us to do, is to stay focused on the bigger fight. Because while everyone, including me, rage posts about this disgusting video, Trump is laying the groundwork to steal the next election. Let me show you what I mean. Last week, Trump's FBI raided an election center in Fulton County, Georgia, and seized the physical ballots from the 2020 election. But this isn't just about relitigating Trump's loss. It's about pre-litigating 2026 and 2028, which they know they're going to lose. A couple weeks ago, the Attorney General told the state of Minnesota that if they turned over their voter rolls, they'd call off ICE. Straight up quid pro quo. Hand over your elections and we'll stop occupying your city. Trump said earlier this week that Republicans should take over and nationalize elections in swing states. And Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who's back to stop the steal, is openly entertaining. He has the ability to refuse to seat members of Congress, and he's already shown he's willing to play games with it. And Steve Bannon is now talking about surrounding polling places with ICE agents, straight up suppressing the vote with massive secret police. They want to cancel the Latino vote, the non-white vote. When they go low, we go high wasn't about ignoring insults or turning the other cheek. It was about choosing a strategy of principled resistance over spite.
The craziest part of this is that Tim Scott is admitting that the White House has put other racist S out, but this is the most racist of all the racist S. He did say that. He did say, hey, I thought the racism level was going to stay at a solid 7. But we getting up too high. And, you know, this is ridiculous. Apparently, Tim Scott thought this was okay. He sure enough did. All the times that it was posted. Was that a staffer too, Trump? You must have gone to different staffers who didn't tell you that you had posted that already. They should communicate better. The racist meme posting staffers need have like a team meeting with the racist meme staffers. Yeah, they need some organization. But before that, we got Hillary Clinton in front of piles of cash in the words most corrupt candidate ever inside a 6-sided star that looked like the Star of David. In 2017, Trump reposted a series of inflammatory anti-Muslim posts from a British far-right account. In 2019, Trump reposted a series of tweets from British anti-immigration activist Katie Hopkins, who had a well-known history of rhetoric including comparing migrants to cockroaches. In 2020, he reposted a doctored image depicting then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer in Middle Eastern garb. He also reposted a video of people he said were from the Villages, a retirement community in Florida, calling them great people, even as the video showed a person chanting white power. He also reposted a video featuring a large number of dark-skinned people walking by with the words, if you're a woman, you can either vote for Trump or wait until one of these monsters goes after you or your daughter. I don't know, Tim. No. This would be a #1 seed in terms of the races. This would be a #1 seed, but we would have to play it out. Put in a proper bracket, and we would have to play this out. No, we're not even close to through with you. I have nothing to say about that video because the violence speaks for itself, but Tim Scott praying his master isn't racist needs to be addressed. I don't understand hating yourself that much. This man, after all of the previous posts,
no more missing,
and obviously all of the anti-blackness that I've chronicled right here, this man fixed his fingers to type praying that it isn't real.
Let's face it, most of the insurance industry can feel a bit prehistoric, impersonal, and confusing. And you could be one catastrophe away from more carriers leaving your city, county, or state, leaving you with fewer options than ever. That's where Kin is different. Hurricanes, fires, floods. Kin was built precisely for that, and we are here to stay. Getting a quote is super easy, and you can do it right now from your phone. Visit kin.com or call Kin today.
59 seconds left in the third. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Martin again missing.
He's having trouble getting anything to go right now.
Here's Harris.
That must be the reinvention of the Southern Mark. That must be what that is. No, one thing I will give you, Tim, it wasn't the worst response that I saw. From Lieutenant Governor Pamela Yvette, another case of Trump derangement syndrome as media and politicians melt down over 2 seconds of an auto-generated clip that was clearly posted in error. Would be nice if the press spent as much time holding criminal illegals accountable as they do pearl clutching and virtue signaling over auto-generated videos. Well, you knew whataboutism was coming. That train is absolutely never late, despite the fact that you are the biggest targets of whataboutism that maybe has ever existed. But I came for this part. Spend as much time holding criminal illegals accountable. Only criminal illegals? Only criminal illegals? How do you feel about criminal citizens? How do you feel about criminal locals? You just want to open the jails? Is it only criminal illegals? And I asked that question because last time we saw a cover-up scheme from this administration, 2 citizens had lost their lives at the hands of Americans. Is that some accountability you would be interested in? Are you interested in that? Because we still haven't seen that yet. And by the way, the same administration, they came out and gave us this story about a staffer are the ones that came out then and were talking about what Renee Good thought she was at a monster truck rally and what would be assassin in the case of Alex Preddy. Those were the narratives they gave us initially. So if that is instructive of how this administration works, where we will end up is exactly 180 degrees from where we start. And you think that's not relevant here? Huh? You think that's not relevant here? I would say the memory of a goldfish, but I don't want it. Goldfish did nothing to deserve being associated with maggots. What the?
Oh, it's not good. Oh, it's looking grim. Oh, it's grim. Oh, it's looking grim.
One thing I can tell you though, Tim, despite the fact that was as trash a response as I could imagine, they finna drag. They finna drag. No, they not gonna beat those cold allegations. We got resign Mr. Rhino Tim Scott. We got resign Tim Scott over and over again. All right, I guess that MAGA voice is going to be hoarse with all that yelling. We got these Democrat racism hoaxes against Trump always exposed as sanctimonious cowards in the Republican Party. Primary them, throw them out, they're useless. Worse, useful idiots of the left like Tim Scott. I told you. I told you. Literally at every turn they reinforce the cult allegations at every turn. And to you, Tim Scott, this is how Pick Me ends. We've had this conversation before. We had it when you weren't chosen for the cabinet. We had it when he gave you the job to make sure other people got elected. We've had it many times. You excuse so much racism that this is just supposed to be regular. And even when you say a thing and you object to a thing that warranted objection, this is the blowback you will receive because it is so out of character for you to have a problem with literally any level of racism.
Did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician.
Senator Tim Scott should resign from his position as chair of the NRSC for attacking President Trump today as a racist over a meme he didn't even post himself. Donald Trump is way too nice to these traitors. I remain undefeated in my ability to detect horrible people for President Trump. F you, Tim Scott. Resign, traitor. That was from his bestie, Laura Loomer, who presumably you interacted with. F you. Resign, traitor. I know. I know about all that work you did. Yeah. Yeah, you wore through a whole case of shoe shine. No.
Yeah. I hate you.
And this is what they got.
Now racism is stupid jokes. It's cartoon animated.
Everybody getting traded.
I want recovery. Give me a break. Absolutely.
Season over.
Whatever. We're gonna make fun of it. I'm kind of over it. You know, there's a whole world of just soft. He's got to delete it. I need an apology. Tim Scott with his beard white.
This your own people. This your own people. No, I didn't invite him to nowhere. No, this is your own people. I'm pretty sure he in the White House press corps.
Let's find ourselves a prayer. I'm pulling graded slabs on Fox.gg. Let's check out this.
I got married about it. Sure, Tim. Okay. I'm just so offended. I can't legislate any longer this way.
None. Talk about how you can integrate
I
that
know.
into a team system.
It's so offensive. Because I don't understand, because your people went through a thing, and we're all supposed to give a shit, right? I know, your people. Well, not anybody you know, and probably not anybody in your bloodline, but people did something, and it was terrible 400 years ago. Jesus, no one cares, dude. No one cares.
Tim Scott, I blame you for me having had to watch that, honestly. I blame you for that being put in my timeline and being relevant to this video. You think I really wanted to engage with that? I'm not going to engage with it. I'm not going to. Okay, well, I will engage with this one. Is your position that because of slavery being as long ago as it was, that nothing could be racist now? Is that? So if you could point to something bad that happened a long time ago, it magically disproves anything that you could do anything now to any group that has had something bad that you pointed. Is it like negatives? Like you just find something and you multiply two negatives and then now we all good and positive? Is that how you go about life? That is, this is going to be really the hardest chapter in American history. It really is. I mean, the cult stuff is easy. The cult stuff is easy, but the thought process to stay in it is what's wild.
They see Gavin Newsom as this big beauty, but I would say I'd put up Donald Trump against him any day. I mean, here you have Donald Trump, who's in his very late 70s. The guy is absolutely handsome, incredible shape. He's married to the most beautiful woman in the world, and I'd put Donald Trump up against Gavin Newsom any day of the week, and Gavin wouldn't even be in the same league as Donald Trump. So the beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Look, I'm not going to argue with her. I say, if that's how she feels, give her what she's asking for. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Oh, yeah. It's going to be an even worse Stormy Daniels account that's going to hit the timeline. Prove it. Hey, don't tell me about it. Don't tell me, show me. Hey, Tim, you talk to Trump? Scoop, President Trump called Senator Tim Scott on Friday after the Republican publicly urged the president to remove a reposted video depicting Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. Trump told Scott, who's chairman of the NRCC, that the repost was a staffer's mistake and said he would take it down. The post was removed after the call. CBS News has also confirmed that other Republican lawmakers contacted the president to urge him to take down the post. In this instance, however, Trump personally called Scott. I just love you. No, that's wow. And that came from CBS News, so you know the administration wanted to put that out there. You know what I mean? You know the administration saw that as a flex. That came from CBS. You know how they work. You know how they work. So, wow. Okay. Tim Scott, I got one thing bothers me about this whole thing. The White House can call Senator Tim Scott for cover, but not a cabinet position. Yeah. We all saw it. Well, no, we all saw it. Yeah. Take some time, however long you need. I see Nancy Mace at the bar. Why don't you go see if you can keep her some company? Yeah, y'all got a lot to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, but more importantly, thank you so much for your support of this channel. Hey, I didn't tell y'all to go over there. From Wanda, I just wanted to share this pic of Mr. Warren showing off your Kamala was right shirt on Don Lemon. Okay, I see you, Warren. I see you. Don't look happy though. I didn't tell him go over there, Don. I didn't. No, we good. Hey, Don just came home. I don't want that problem. We good. You look good though, Warren. I like that Kamala was right. You look. I like the t-shirt. It fits nice, slimming and everything. And by the way, I'll be offering discount codes every week during my Tuesday lives. So make sure you tune in live each and every Tuesday, every week in the month of February, and get the discount code for that day. Oh, I didn't forget about the members. I got a little special something for y'all too. Don't worry. No, it's not the new camera. I'm keeping that. But I did get a new camera. Yeah, that's right. You can see every nook and cranny on my face. So
temporarily prevented the points. Well, with De'Aaron Fox, he may go through peaks and valleys, but he's always dangerous, Stan.
Yeah, B.A., sometimes you watch and think, this defense is doing a great job against him. And then he'll drop 15 and a quarter without even breaking a sweat.
And both free throws good for Fox. Well, Grant, you look up and down this Thunder roster. It is just loaded with winning players.
Yeah, B.A., guys who are going to make the right play, defend their spot, move without the ball. I mean, they've built something special in OKC, piece by piece.
Now here's Ivy. 6 on the shot clock. And the 3 off target.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Alright, it wasn't just because he
Lane Maxwell will be testifying this Monday, that happens to be the same day that Congress is giving access to the unredacted Epstein files on February 9th. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell was Epstein's girlfriend, and she helped him do all the disgusting things he did with traffic victims and soul things. We're going to get into those emails later in this video because we discovered some new Epstein files. And the things Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and other political officials did in these files is the same reason they're trying to hide them from the world. And as the DOJ deletes even more Epstein files day by day, it's too late because a deleted Epstein file cover-up is coming to an end. This is Ghislaine Maxwell in her old high-security prison. And this is before Trump allegedly paid her off to testify in court before that she's never seen Trump do anything bad. But this is before the Epstein files are released, he saw everything. As far as the unredacted files go, and as far as the deleted files we were able to get our hands on. However, after she testified for Trump the first time, saying she never saw Trump do anything bad, he upgraded her to a minimum security prison that is actually against the law and violates policy. This was her old prison, and this is her new one where she's been accused of receiving special treatment to include access to a dog, unsupervised unlimited laptop use, after-hour private access to outdoors, to the gym, to the warden, to the chaplain, and a bunch of other things that other inmates can't do. On top of this, she's not even allowed to be here for her crimes against humanity because she trafficked the victims of Epstein, helped him sell babies. She was involved in all this. That's why she was locked up in the first place. However, Trump is now considering pardoning her as well. And he said it out of his own mouth when he was asked about it, saying he's going to think about it and he's going to look into it for one of the most vile and evil criminals in this world. Because in Trump's America, as long as you commit crimes under the name of Donald Trump, he will do something for you. If you told him to follow the law, like the 25-year Navy veteran Mark Kelly, he demands your hanging and says online that you need a public execution. They also took away his military retirement pay and tried to send him to military prison by recalling him back to the Pentagon, which is against the law because he's no longer active duty and already served his country. However, let's see what Trump had to say about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell for covering everything he's done in the Epstein files. Because remember that these billionaires like Trump that are corrupt operate off of bribes. Crime doesn't matter. What can you do for me? I'll do something for you. Let's take a look at this.
The Supreme Court is back. Was that just appeal fights about
Follow to the 3, I put.
I haven't heard the name, so I can say this. We have to take a look at it. We have to take a look. Did they reject that? And what happened?
Yeah, Matherin does have the short
Well, take a look at it. I will speak to you. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So, but I'll speak to you. I will speak to you.
I think they understand, man.
I'll look at it. I have a lot of people that speak to parties. I call them up that. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it and I have to ask DOJ. I didn't know they rejected it. I didn't know she was just asking for it. Steve?
Remember that this is before the Epstein files came out, and Trump found out that the evidence against him is dead. He is now in multiple emails regarding Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, where they speak about him a multitude of times. Matter of fact, he appears more in the Epstein files more than anybody else. Let's also not forget Jeffrey Epstein's last letter before he unalived himself, which we're going to get to later in this video because we have evidence on that too. That he wrote in his letter about Trump. Trump loves young and women just as much as I do. Saying right here, the president shares his love with young girls. When young women walked by, he loved to grab snatch. Whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess of the system. Life is unfair, claiming that they got convicted of what they did to these young girls, and Trump is still free walking. So Ghislaine Maxwell has more power to destroy him more than anybody in the world at this moment. Of course, he better stop him. However, he has
sorry, second.
Pardons her, he gets impeached. She reveals everything, gets some type of deal to get out of it, and he faces his convictions. So that should get some crazy for Trump because remember that DOJ agent that revealed all of this
gave Jaden Isaiah A+ on his 30, bro?
Was in charge of getting Ghislaine Maxwell that minimum security deal, which is illegal. It's against the law.
No green, the A+.
And for those wondering, this is the minimum security prison Ghislaine Maxwell is in, where she gets complete outdoor access and a dormitory style living. I mean, she's basically in a retirement home, where she also receives customized meals. And apart from the dozens of whistleblowers who both work there and the agents saying she gets this preferential treatment no one else gets, one of these inmates spoke to the press. The warden of this facility sent that inmate to a high-security prison. This is Trump's America, where people engage in child trafficking. Trump will make sure he gets preferential treatment as long as he's not doing it along there with you. These redacted Epstein files, since the DOJ is currently deleting more and more every day, so we're supposed to cover what we can. There's multiple reportings of Jeffrey Epstein selling babies and buying them and having an entire black market for them. Subject: woman who accused John of God cult leader of mysteriously unalived herself at Spanish home. There was also another woman in Mexico who was claiming that she saw sacrifices and the eating of organs from these elites as well. Those are her words, not mine. Blank spoke of this going on at Zorro Ranch. She said on record that Epstein offered her money to do this, birth babies from heart. Another we see a pattern here. To Jeffrey Epstein from Peggy Siegel, 2009, coming to PB to see you and Jan taking photos. We'll have a ball and think of you all the time. Can bring a little baby back for you or two, boys or girls. Email number 3. P.S. Was just reading today that newborns will pacify more vigorously if it triggers playback of a recording of her or his mother's voice and another woman's voice. The pattern you'll see in these emails is they started off normally that they're talking about something else, then they send their real message, and then they try to end it normally again, because that's exactly what they emailed before this one did as well. An email from Epstein insinuating that he would eat cream cheese burgers. From Epstein, there are millions of these very little good vegetable cream cheese. To Epstein, lol, I don't know if cream cheese and babies are on the same level. And then of course they end it normally again, talking about some new engine for a video. This is how they used to speak. They would code their real messages between fluff talk that doesn't actually mean anything. By the way, there are reports from multiple victims that they saw Epstein and other elites eating other victims. However, that's alleged. These emails are still very concerning. To think these emails could get even worse than they were before, and Trump is still trying to hide them from the world. Why are these redacted? Why would you hide the sender of who this is going to? We want to see the name. And by the way, we only got 3 million Epstein files, so they tell us, as they remove more and more every day and set up AI to redact Trump's name out of everything. So the information we got on Trump is the ones that slipped through the cracks, which the DOJ quickly removed once they realized we got a hold of those documents. This is a real-time cover-up of PDFs, and they're saying they're not going to prosecute anybody. Because remember, Trump, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, they're all saying the same thing. There is nobody to prosecute. Todd Blanche says in this clip right here that he hasn't seen any evidence of men abusing women in the Epstein files, looking as guilty as ever. Also saying, we're not going to release their names to the public. Todd Blanche, you are compromised. This tells America one thing. Either Todd Blanche was in the Epstein files, or the paycheck is good enough that he'll defend them, and he is okay with this behavior. And MAGA is actually trying to normalize PDF behavior, because along with Megyn Kelly saying 15's not that bad and doesn't make you a PDF unless they're under the age of 10, you know, other MAGA members saying the exact same thing, like Epstein was a cool guy, and Nick Fuentes says 14 to 17 doesn't make you a PDF. Yes, it does, actually. To include this woman right here saying if you weren't on Epstein's island back in the day, you just weren't cool. He was the coolest guy. Why are they all saying the same thing? However, before we get to that and some other crazy storylines that all lead up to these moments, here is Todd Blanche saying they will not prosecute anybody in the Epstein files. America is at its breaking point. Let's take a look at this clip.
Thank you. You said this is the end of the Epstein, of your review of the Epstein files. So, just to clarify, is the public going to learn the identities of the men who it's the girls with the information that you're releasing? And if not, why not? And then I have a quick follow-up.
I mean, you just baked in an assumption into your question that I have never said and I don't know to be true. Is the public going to learn about men that abuse these girls? And what does that mean? I mean, I don't understand what that means.
Well, I mean, there's the men who up the young women through Epstein's
we said in July, and it remains as true today as it was in July. If we had information, we meaning the Department of Justice, about men who abuse women, we would prosecute them. Right? We talked about the work that we're doing. That's why I said that. I said this earlier. There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing not to prosecute. That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse women.
Talk about defensive. Everything he's saying he's not doing is exactly what he and everybody else he is supporting is doing. I mean, Trump actively said this months ago before the Epstein files came out that he wanted to protect his friends' names in the Epstein files because it would ruin their reputation more so than getting justice for the victims. Trump hasn't met with not one Epstein victim or will speak to them. He refuses to. They've tried. And as we get file after file and we watch these things happen in real time, they still try to lie to our faces and gaslight us about what's really happening. But no worries, Todd Blanche. If you refuse to prosecute them, then the rest of America will. And if you refuse to hold Donald Trump and yourself and your friends accountable, then the rest of America will. Because this is the United States, and we set the standard. And the message that Americans are putting out today is we will not accept PDF in this country. It's also interesting how the reporter didn't ask him about a cover-up. However, he said exactly what he is doing, and the rest of America knows what he's doing because these people aren't stupid, and they're going to believe their own eyes before the lies you tell them, especially when you cover up for the biggest PDF ring the world has ever seen. This has been spoken about since the early 2000s, and it was really happening. And we now have proof, and you say you won't prosecute them? That means you're in on it too. These people are in trouble. They're shaking in their boots. They know what's coming. Because remember that Trump has said 10 times in the past few months that they're going to impeach him. He's going to go to prison. Let's take a look at this confession.
But we got to win the midterms. Because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached. We don't impeach them, you know why? Because they're meaner than we are. We should have impeached Joe Biden for 100 different things.
Funny how he's accused Joe Biden 1,000 times of being in the Epstein files. Joe Biden is nowhere in the Epstein files. Neither is Obama. Matter of fact, Donald Trump, you're in the Epstein files. You're in it so much that you're having your administration redact the Epstein files and lie about it. 2013, a woman sent to Jeffrey Epstein, you made unusual offers. You offered to buy my baby 6 months into our relationship, and 6 years later, you offered to support my ex-boyfriend for the baby, apparently. Do you remember that? It's probably not in any emails either, and I understand nobody would believe it. Let's take a look at some of the Trump allegations that the DOJ immediately deleted once they realized we had it because it was supposed to be redacted. Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction. By the way, many of the victims in this reporting was 13, and so was Katie Johnson. The stories all line up. Why are they all the same? Different women from different parts of the world. Victim reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform on President Trump approximately 35 years ago when she was 13. In this report, a woman claimed she was a victim and witnessed the S trafficking at Trump's golf course. Victim reported Ghislaine Maxwell was the broker for the S parties, and regular clients were Epstein, Robert Leach, and Donald Trump. Victim reported participating in and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility, which is a very common report multiple times throughout the years about this. This victim claims this happened between 1995 and 1996. This went on for a very long time with no accountability and no consequences for these people. Now we have their names, we have these reported, we have everything. Trump refuses to do anything about it. Victim reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked about what went on there or who she saw, she would end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other girls. And this victim reported witnessing Robin Leach, a young girl, to at one of those parties. You'll also find Epstein emails that people are discussing doing this thing. A Harvard professor, a current Harvard professor, saying he just couldn't keep her, he couldn't do it. And there was many more of these reports that the DOJ took down off their website, mind you, because Donald Trump's name was in it. We covered this in our series of our Epstein videos we dropped for the past week. But make sure to go check those out for more information. Emails such as this, as somebody confesses to murder to Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, they try to start these off normal and then they put their real message in between. I called him now my future husband, and we're talking about our daughter. I thought I would never be able to kill somebody in my life. I was wrong. I might escape anyway. Miss you, Jeff. Big kiss, although now you probably won't like to kiss me anymore. This was back in 2010. Most people want to know why Jeffrey Epstein and his victims are being protected. But at the same time, the people have already come to a conclusion that if you were protecting them, you were in on it too. You're being paid by the people that were in on it. And now that there's clear evidence of all of this happening, you don't have our political officials insinuating anything. They're calling it out straight to Donald Trump's face and saying it how it is. They're calling it a PDF. They're saying what happened in those Epstein files, and they're saying who's covering it up. Let's take a look at this clip of Representative Ted Lieu calling out Donald Trump for being in the Epstein files. Then we're going to get to MAGA next. Let's take a look at this clip.
So why are Republicans so interested in Bill Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. So I encourage your press to go look at these allegations. And I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. That's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment,
No, Joshua, don't.
Yes,
No,
you're
Joshua,
guilty because
don't.
patronizing is part of the law, the federal sexual trafficking law. So, Secretary General Kavanaugh just got that wrong, which maybe explains why they aren't investigating all these folks, including Donald Trump. He needs to read the law and investigate these people. He also needs to resign, not only for not knowing the law, but a massive, not only screw up, but the biggest privacy violation in history. They released a lot of pictures of minors unredacted, just violated the privacy of these girls. It is uncalled for what they did. The one thing that they could not do under this law was to invade the privacy of these women now, who were girls at the time, who were victims of
AI. Monday sidekick. AI is easy. Just say what you need and it's done. Like an expert. Monday doc.
Also, he met with Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell moved her to administrative prison and then got a puppy for her. So for all those reasons, he just got to leave the Department of Justice.
Trump has inadvertently made the desire for justice of Americans stronger than ever. And it's to his detriment because people are sick of beating around the bush and they're calling it like they see it. Or this is the exact rhetoric Americans have been asking for from their political officials. Because when you are passive with the bully will walk all over you. The second you stand up for yourself and say something, you will watch the bully slowly wither away, the same way we're watching Trump do. These types of people can dish it out, they can never take it. Because what Ted said was very true in the Epstein file. It was very popular for Epstein and his guests to unalive their victims while they did things to them. This was happening, or at least it was being reported on by victims. And even what the remainder of MAGA saying, they're saying what we've been saying about MAGA for months, that the remainder is only PDF supporters, and because this woman right here says if you were on Epstein's island back in the day, you weren't cool. Epstein was cool. Let's take a look at this clip.
If you were on the scene and you were powerful, like, to be honest, like, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult, because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right, so the people who aren't in the files.
Yes.
Okay. Are you in?
Of course I am, because it's any journalist that wrote about it.
That might be one of the most disgusting things I've heard this week. Aside from Megyn Kelly saying that if they're 15, it doesn't count. If they're not under the age of 10, it doesn't count. She also implied that Epstein isn't a PDF the same way Nick Fuentes implied that Epstein isn't a PDF. Because this same exact rhetoric that you just heard from her today is as if someone's telling them to say stuff like this to normalize that, or these people are extremely sick because Nick Fuentes again says Epstein is cool. We just covered 2 other clips in my last video, and here he is tripling down, calling Epstein cool, saying 14 to 17 doesn't make him a PDF. And we just went through the files and we saw even babies were involved. Let's take a look at this clip.
Epstein's my boy, dude. Let's just be honest. Epstein was cool as fuck. There, I said it. Here's the thing. Everybody would say, I would never go. Me, Epstein Island? I would never. And it's like, dude, you're telling me. Jeffrey Epstein was probably so cool. Like, he was probably the coldest, coolest guy you know. You're telling me the coolest guy you know, who knows everybody, says, hey, we're going to go on my private jet to my private island. We got hot girls. He doesn't tell you how old they are. How fucking lame would you be? Are they 18? Like, who's going to be the nerd that asks that? You probably would just assume they are.
That doesn't make you a nerd. That makes you a responsible, grown adult. Let's let them continue.
Or that it's in international waters, so it doesn't matter, you know? But, like, you're telling me you would automatically say, no, like, you don't know what's going on.
This is absolute sick behavior, and he needs to be locked the hell up for what he just said right now. This is who Nick Fuentes is. It makes you wonder what these people plan to do after the Trump administration. They are now trying to normalize PDF behavior that happened inside of the Epstein files. This is sick, and it is very important that we exclude people like this from society so no one else ever feels compelled to say something as sick and disgusting as that. I won't be too surprised in the future when we find out that Nick Fuentes ends up compromised as well. And as further proof that they set the AI up to specifically remove Donald Trump's name in all forms, they redacted the word don't, which has the word Don in it. So if you put up Don in the algorithm, don't also populates, so it makes sense as to why don't got redacted. Now, as promised, people are questioning whether or not Jeffrey Epstein is actually alive or not. And while we're not going to allude to anything, we will cover exactly why they're asking that. This was found in the Epstein Files 2019, the same year Epstein died. Due to large news media presence outside the MCC, a male official called and said he would be arriving at the loading dock with a black vehicle in order to thwart the media. Redacted used boxes and sheets to create what would appear to be a human body, which is put into the white vehicle, which the press followed, allowing the black vehicle to depart unnoticed with Epstein's body. How interesting is that? Because apparently in an autopsy, if real, that was shown, it was missing Jeffrey Epstein's tattoo he has on his arm. However, the picture cut off about right here, so it could have just been a little bit lower. However, people are speculating that it was a double. And now they're questioning the validity of Epstein and whether or not he's actually dead. Because while the proof isn't substantiated, there's allegedly some 4chan posts that help them connect this impression, as well as a photo of somebody in Israel that say looks like Jeffrey Epstein, which I don't really see in this picture because this could just be anybody. And I've done further digging. This picture is allegedly AI. They just cropped out the Gemini logo that's supposed to be here. We'll go to that picture right now because allegedly this is the full picture, and you'll see this Gemini logo right down here. And then the same morning that Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself, somebody posted this to 4chan saying, not saying anything after this, please do not try to dox him, but last night after 04:15, 4 a.m. count, they took him to medical in a wheelchair front cuff, but not one triage nurse say they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not do releases on weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put into a single-man cell and unalives himself. Here's the thing, the trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who led him through the gate. Guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. This was on August 10th, 2019, the same day Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself. Now, he reported that at 4:15 a.m. was when they took him into a medical chair and no nurse spoke to him and wheeled him somewhere. However, Jeffrey Epstein allegedly unalived himself at 6:30 a.m., 2 hours after. Once again, this is all speculation, but I'm here to give you the information what people are talking about. I personally don't think Jeffrey Epstein's still alive, but after all we've read, nothing really seems impossible. And I remember that Fortnite player whose name was Jeffrey Epstein's email alias name little as Jeff1. Well, Fortnite put out a message saying, hey, that Fortnite player recently changed their username, and this was a ruse that a Fortnite player wanted to get attention from. So all the speculation is getting debunked, but again, almost nothing seems impossible anymore, because do you remember in 2022 when this crypto billionaire was found dead? I think most people remember this vividly because he was tweeting about it the whole time. He tweeted that he feared the CIA and Mossad were going to unalive him, saying the CIA and Mossad and PDF Elite are running some kind of trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands, implying this was still going on after Epstein, which most people are privy to. They're going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex who was a spy. Jeffrey Epstein talks about a lot of spies and killing spies in his emails, as we've gone over in these last few videos. They will torture me to death. Jeffrey Epstein talks about torturing people to death. And quite literally a day later, he was found fully clothed, carrying all of this stuff, and they claimed he drowned in the water at a beach. And then about a week later, another crypto thing was found alive, dumped at a beach. There was a very strong history of this continues today. That is why it's important to prosecute everybody in the Epstein files. A clear message without history not tolerated. Nothing is done. We need to do this will continue to this because there is no consequence for the action. Donald Trump continues to break everything because there's been consequences for his actions. Only the problem is those consequences are coming fast. This Monday, we're going to find out what is going to happen to Donald Trump next, because he is terrified. MAGA is on its last leg. As Trump refuses to hold himself accountable, then the rest of America will. So with that being said, release the unredacted Epstein files, Donald Trump. Bring justice to the Epstein victims, to Renee Good, to Alex. Follow. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please make sure to have a wonderful day. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And see you. I want you guys to know that I recorded an entire video and my mic is muted the whole time, so I had to do it again. But it's worth it for y'all. Have a
achieved some upward momentum, climbing to the 5th spot on the board.
And checking out these Rockets, they wanted the top spot badly, and they did just that. A real testament to both their chemistry and work ethic.
Don't settle for less. Get more electrolytes and really power water from Powerade. Official partner of Team USA.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about AI color schemes. You can get any combos you want. Bold and bright, minimalist and sleek, or something you didn't even think of.
Just describe the vibe you want, or even use the colors of your logo, and let AI do its thing. Beautiful. Next up is the AI section creator. This is great for those website essentials, like a contact section or a place to subscribe. Now, I'm running a sale, so I punch in some details, and just like that, I have a promo section. Functional and beautiful. I love it. Now, for the AI text creator, I got some products that need description.
The NBA is going through a pretty stark transition period right now where the old guard of dominant superstars are entering their final few seasons in the league, and the younger crop of talent is starting to take over at the highest level. The NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder were just the youngest team by average age in the whole league, proving that the league is in good hands when all of the older legends retire. On that note, it brings us to the topic of today's video, where we're going to be taking a look at the landscape of the younger generation of players, and we're going to go through and rank the top 25 NBA players under the age of 25. These rankings are definitely more heavily weighted based on how good they currently are right now, but there is definitely also a bit of projection based on their potential taken into account here as well. I also wanted to make it clear that I am not including any players that just got drafted in the 2025 NBA draft, because none of them have any NBA experience yet, so it's all a guessing game. Now, going in reverse order and working our way up to that coveted number 1 spot on the list, we have Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks here at number 25. Daniels had a quiet start to his career in New Orleans, but a trade to Atlanta breathed new life into him, and his newfound confidence was visible on the field playing with Trae Young. He's easily one of the best perimeter defenders the game has to offer now. He just led the league in steals by a wide margin, and on offense, he may not have the upside of a scorer or creator that others on this list have, but he's a smart decision maker who knows his role and converts relatively efficiently on the opportunities that he gets. Next at number 24, we have Jaden Ivey with the Detroit Pistons. Through 3 seasons, Ivey has steadily improved a lot, learning how to use his blistering speed as a legit weapon. Playing next to Cade Cunningham to start last season with very fruitful results as he was en route to his best throw before injuries unfortunately shut him down for the season after 30 games. But if the improvement in his perimeter shooting can prove to be legit, then he and Cade Cunningham will form one of the better backcourts in the NBA for years to come.
And how about a look now at our assist to the game? Brought to you by State
There's
Farm.
already theories online that the CIA and government have meme departments now to monitor situations online and soften them. They could very well be involved in making these dumb memes to make you laugh and forget how corrupt things actually are. Really think of it, especially if you live in America. The government lied to your face for...
With it, past the man. Powell outside. Sinks the triple. Powell's got himself going with the triple. His first basket.
The desensitized generation. Video by Tommy I mean, y'all niggas must be numb as fuck. Bro, I remember when Trayvon Martin got shot. I cried. It feels like a Trayvon Martin type thing happens every other week now. It's insane. I was too young to really understand what was going on during 9/11, but I do remember my mom having CNN on, like, every night. And I just have memories of, like, missiles, just the sky lighting up and bombs dropping. And I remember thinking, man, this is like, I don't really know what's going on, but it's a really big deal. When are we not dropping bombs? Like, they was just dropping bombs in Venezuela. I feel like people didn't really care, bro. Like, people were like, damn, that shit crazy. But not, like, they was saying, damn, that shit crazy, like how you might say that if you hear about a nigga getting fired from a department that you don't even work in and you kind of barely know him, and you just heard that he got fired. Like, damn, that shit crazy. That's how Gen Z reacted to Venezuela getting bombed. So yeah, Gen Z, truly, y'all are numb as fuck.
Tragedies are things that have happened throughout everyone's lifetime. Whether you were born in modern times where getting it directly sent to you through your phone from a relative, or in caveman times where you would see your whole village get squad wiped in 0.2 seconds by a 15-foot saber-toothed tiger and have to survive the next 30 years alone. And as the years have went on and a whole 2 generations have grown up with social media and the internet in front of their faces, slowly over time we've become more and more desensitized to any public tragic events happening. It went from a couple of years of no joking time in the public, and if you did, people would make a salty face at you, to now just waiting a couple of days and it ends up being in some brain rot TikTok video.
Oh my god. Bro, there are Jeffrey Epstein aura videos on TikTok. What? Bro, they're making Epstein skits.
Did you get my email?
Got it, man.
Yeah. Can I come in? Maybe 5 kids for me. 5 kids. He's Jaden Smith. Oh. That's big age. I'm excited. You serious?
Wow.
What?
We really have reached the point of how crazy an event is, or how...
That was a Stephen Hawking reference, because apparently that literal, like, living embodiment of a fuck went to the Epstein Island. They got Stephen Hawking there. I don't know what he was there, but they were doing something.
Is there's going to be some AI ended up on TikTok or Twitter within an hour. And this isn't something that happened overnight. It's been a build-up through years of joking on the internet. One of the things that really started it with social media was right after 9/11. Right after 9/11 happened, it was like the world froze for that.
Oh, yeah.
No one knew, not only in America, what the was next, but frankly around the world. If one of the most powerful countries in the world could face a tragedy like that, then everyone had to wonder if it would happen to them. Man, even with me being in my dad's ball sack at that time, I was contemplating, should I even be born? Luckily, I chose to, so you're welcome, y'all, but it was that serious. I remember it like it was yesterday. And at that time, it wasn't common to make jokes about serious things like that.
Yeah, I would have been like, what, 6, 7?
Why are you the way that you are?
I would have been about 6, 7 when 9/11 happened.
Especially in the media or in public. So any TV show or movie that did was facing the wrath of thousands of callers to the television network that aired the show saying to cancel it. Which, looking back on, is funny for one reason, because boomers nowadays will say younger generations are too sensitive and cancel culture was annoying. And yeah, true, Gen Z is a little more. But if they saw anything that was slightly offensive to them back then, they had the hotline of every major TV network to complain about it and say they were canceling their membership. True, some parents and grandparents back in the 2000s wasn't even letting their kids watch SpongeBob because they thought it was too demonic. Right? That was the first show that kind of started doing 9/11 jokes in the mainstream, and so many people hated them for it. There's this one notorious episode where Lois is running to be mayor and makes fun of politicians using it for advantage, which is a classic now.
It was bad.
I agree with that. What are your plans for cleaning up our environment?
Yeah, the thing about video games is...
Back to you, Kevin.
Great work as always.
Traffic problem.
That wrap it up, folks. For Dorisburg, Greg Anthony and our sideline reporter, Alan LaForce. This is Kevin.
It's essentially Donald Trump just saying immigrants.
We'll see you next time.
Immigrants, Somalians, immigrants, immigrant. Black people, immigrants. That's Donald Trump's whole, like, rhetoric to his base, and they really just eat that shit up.
And after shows and media started comfortably doing it, it became normal to make jokes about it online. Honestly, even when I think about it, the amount of people still making jokes about it.
I scored 90 points, man. What you mean, bro?
Gen Z wasn't as connected to it compared to other generations saw the memes. I feel that was the start of us being desensitized to tragedies and not caring as much.
Last week on the social media, some dude was like, I scored 88 points. This nigga gonna say, oh, I told you that he wasn't gonna score no 90 points in the league. So I had to drop 90, bro. I had to drop 90.
At gore back then, and I still don't to this day. Any edgy person online that says they like looking at gore because it's intriguing, low-key scares me. Like, I feel like you got...
And 90 points on 90% shooting, bro. Like, what more can that nigga do?
some serial killer tendencies. Like I randomly
It ain't like he ball hogging and missing, bro. Damn near shooting 100%.
Definitely, you can count the amount of gore videos I've seen on one hand, and all of them were shown to me. Never looked that shit up. That shit is insane to me.
At the lunch table, and someone would point at their phone, being like, "Hey, Tommy, come look at this," and it was a whole ass ISIS beheading video of someone.
I remember this one time somebody showed me a video of a dude. I've seen a dude get his head cut off with a chainsaw. And I've seen another video where a dude, while he was still alive, they cut his belly open and just start pulling his guts out, bro, while he's still alive. Yeah, man. They be doing some fucked up shit in Mexico. Crazy shit, man. The cartels, those niggas are fucking savage.
Family.
Be some weird sexual video, like two girls and one.
Nah, I see what you saying, bro. But I just, I had to score 90, man. Plus, I was trying to, you seen the records pop up. I had to score 60 every game just to get the most consecutive games scoring 60 points. And then I was trying to break that record for the most consecutive games scoring 40 points. And I just broke that. I broke hella records that game. I broke Kobe record. I broke the record for the most 40-point games in the season. Broke the record for the longest 50-point game streak. Broke the record for the most points scored in a rookie game, the most threes scored in a rookie game. I got to get my GOAT points and, my career trying to shine. Right? AD and them niggas already saw it. Right?
That's fucking Voldemort, bro. Twitter/X and type in what they want to see. I truly think, though, that time before things started to get more moderated is what contributed to us being so desensitized now. People will say the internet is still unmoderated like that and you can still find crazy things, which you can, but it's becoming less accessible. Like, these companies have faced lawsuits to check in on the 19 competition.
Yeah, it's my first year, too, so once that nigga dog and shit, next season, I can pass and fuck around and, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna automatically start, automatically be getting the max contract. But right now, little nigga proving himself. I came out of high school, I ain't go to college or nothing. I got sent overseas.
In these files basically proved every schizophrenic conspiracy theorist from 10 years ago on the internet right. We're talking sick shit, like obviously world leaders being involved in the crimes and having...
Bro, look at my squad, bro.
Rituals and literal cannibalism.
I should quit, man.
Epstein, according to Five Nights at Freddy's character, this was really sick, dog. He used everything he can to get off. With the public finally getting a look into how dark shit gets in these elite circles confirmed by our government, it shocked most people, even on the internet all the time, on how real everything they heard and may be going on was. And one of the first things that started happening when the files released was, you guessed it, everyone just memeing the start of this.
I got the highest rating on my team, and I probably got the lowest rating on the other team, bro. What kind of shit is this?
I feel like there are documents that literally have Jeffrey Epstein explicitly saying, this person did that shit. Like, I feel like there are documents where Epstein is like, you remember when Trump did that with that fucking kid? We're never going to see those, bro. We're never going to see those. We are under an administration that doesn't give a fuck, bro. They're not following any of the rules. They're violating the Constitution on like a daily basis. You think they're just gonna be like, oh, here's the Epstein file that actually is like the fucking nail in the coffin? No, nigga. Has anyone been arrested? Has there been any calls to put anyone in jail as a result of these? We have millions of documents that have been released. What exactly has changed? Come on, man. Yeah, they're not gonna fucking reveal that shit.
But you can do this to me. I started this company.
You're a fool if you don't think there is rock-solid evidence that exists. How do we know this? Because Ghislaine Maxwell, she got out of prison and was put in what is essentially a 4 seasons, bro. Ghislaine Maxwell, sentenced to 20 years in prison, was taken out of her prison and put in a minimum security luxury fucking villa, okay? That's where she gets to live. She has a fucking puppy now, all right? Why do you think that Trump did that for her? Because she knows where the good shit is. She knows where the hard, solid evidence is that can put this nigga in prison, bro. It exists, but we're never going to see it.
You know, it's to the point, if you search up Epstein on TikTok, it's nothing but memes and random edits. Am I sitting here saying you can't laugh at some brain rot meme of Epstein on TikTok? No, that's up to you. Some of them are funny just because of how ridiculous they're made. But people aren't even taking the severity of this situation at all. Like, I can't blame you if you just can't laugh at the memes. And it's true, my conspiracy theory is that's how the government wants it. There's already theories online that the CIA and government have meme departments now to monitor situations online and soften them. They could very well be involved in making these dumb memes to make you laugh and forget how corrupt things actually are. Really think of it, especially if you live in America. The government lied to your face for...
Yo, I'm not on TikTok, bro. Like, I don't even have that shit on my phone, bro. Ever since they updated their terms of service and apparently they on some real crazy, like, bullshit. They want to know your fucking blood type. They want to know the last 4 of your social security number, nigga. They want to know everything about you. I delete that shit off my phone, but god damn, that's the shit they got on TikTok, huh?
The past year saying none of this stuff existed, only folded when the whole public started rallying against it. Still didn't release it on time required by law. Then released the files randomly, exposing some of the people in the highest positions of government and CEOs, and want us to move on like nothing happened and get back to our daily lives. People have been assuming these theories for decades, so maybe I thought that's why we would take it more serious. But no one could have ever guessed 10 or 15 years ago someone making a Hawaii edit of Epstein on TikTok. The news moves so fast now, people have already moved on. All of this came out before social media, and especially with the president involved with this person, people would have overthrown the government and stormed it by now. And our generation always wants to be empathetic with a person no matter how bad they are, which now has that group of people making sad edits of Epstein.
Mr. Epstein, were you sexually abused as a minor?
What the hell?
Were you sexually abused as a minor?
Bro, one, this is the CIA. If you believe that anybody except the CIA is literally the only person who would make these videos are CIA operatives and fucking pedophile sympathizers. Those are the only people.
Might as well make a sad edit of Adolf while you're right. Facts, bro. Around in the 40s, you would have made sad edits of Adolf when he died. But he was such a good artist and he got rejected.
They do that shit now. They don't make sad edits. They make aura edits of Adolf. Sneeko and his band of fucking weirdo merry men. That's the kind of timing they on.
One of the reasons I think these meme edits happen, especially for Gen Z, is the fact that a majority feels so disconnected from the government and aren't even representing the government at all and have no hope that they don't even care anymore and no won't change, at least for a while. We're still like a couple of decades away before Gen Z has the full power of government, and we know the government now is hitting their final robbery for boomers before throwing it to the next generation. So a lot of people would just feel hooked and feel they can't change.
Bro, let's just say the
fucking
world would be a much better place if just so many people over the age of like 60.
And the only reason I got my mic on is because I'm streaming, y'all. So they're a little noise. So
everything. They're destroying the planet. They're destroying democracy. They're holding the country back.
Much anyway, so why not make stupid edits of this stuff? AI has only increased it and made it easier to make fun of this stuff. You don't even gotta handcraft the meme. The machine can do it for you. Even with the corruption now, people are making fun of it and don't care. The newest being memes about Netanyahu, with his corruption being so obvious and everyone in the public now knowing. There's an entire trend on TikTok of people trying to summon him to save them. He's driving at 20 miles per hour.
What the fuck? No, he was over.
Bro, what is this time? We are for sure in the clown time. We are for sure in the clown time.
I'm not 3%. This trend coincidentally also started when the US app finally got sold. Take that as you will. I'm just a YouTuber, please don't hurt me. Just like I said with the Epstein memes too, it is one of those things where we aren't taken seriously. Maybe it's because he's such a corrupt person and only someone you would think could exist as a villain in a movie. This is a man, though, all memes aside, that was and is complicit in the genocide of—
Why is it that all evil people
maybe it's
just look like evil, bro? Like because
he's such
only an evil person could look like this, right? Like if I held up a picture of a guy of then Yahoo,
This
there's
boy
no way you'd be like, oh, that's one of the good guys, right? No. Oh, why is
person and only someone you would think could exist as a villain in a movie? This is a man, though, all memes aside, that
looks like a mouse.
And is complicit in the genocide of a whole ethnic group of people, trying to still convince the world what we see with our eyes is wrong, who is directly involved in influencing the most powerful country to do his bidding. All it takes for him is one visit to the White House, sliding Trump 5 to 10 M's, and he'll bomb whatever country he needs to. I don't know if you've ever seen this man stressed, because he knows no one can touch him. You get even a centimeter close to him, and you and your entire family's existence is disappearing like you never existed. Now you got people calling him the big Yahoo to summon him. Just wait, because I guarantee he tries to get involved in the trend. He won't even know that it's people making fun of him and not laughing with him. And with the Charlie Kirk memes, I called it out last year that people were still going to be doing them in 2026. It's almost ingrained with TikTok memes. You check any comment section and—
Bro, that's crazy, bro. Charlie Kirk getting shot was already last year. That happened last year. Time is just, it's going so fast. What? That was already last year. It didn't even happen at the end of last year either. It happened kind of close to the middle, bro. It's already last year's news. Look at this.
They're still photoshopping his face on people. No one give a single f anymore that they saw a video of him getting slimed out on camera in 4K.
No,
you help Erica Kirk milking his death to oblivion and flexing the merch sale she got after he died.
God. I think we have 50,000 plus hat orders to fulfill. I mean, I'm saying these numbers because it puts into perspective that we're not just sitting and thinking and looking at the wall being like, what do we do? In fact, there is so much to do.
Oh yeah, there's
you have
so
over
much
20,000 registrations.
The more you hear from Erica Kirk, the more you think there's no way she wasn't jumping for joy when she heard the news. We've reached a point where all of these incidents are crossing together and are
she hated her husband. Yeah. How could anyone love Charlie Kirk like as a wife? Come on. Please.
AI matched together. You'll see edits of Diddy and Epstein together fighting for the #1 predator spot. Edits of Trump and Netanyahu doing, I don't know, really, whatever someone wants. It seems everything is getting more softened and palatable to the public. Who knows where this will lead us in a decade or 2 decades? But I hope y'all know the people at the top want it to seem that you can't do anything and to keep making memes about things, assuming you'll move on and leave things like this forever, which isn't true. Every generation usually flips something in. Hope people know it's not all over.
Yeah, man, so much has happened in such a short period of time. There's so much like just traumatizing, dramatic news that hits the timeline on a pretty much daily basis. Like, there's no trauma that even lasts beyond 48 hours anymore. Like you remember that? Okay, for instance, you remember when EDP got caught? You remember when Dr. Disrespect got caught? Like, that lasted a little while, right? People were talking about that for a little while.
Oh, I should have stayed.
You remember the name of the black guy that just got packed up? What the fuck was his name? Remember. Literally, right now, gun to my head, trying to remember. What was his name? Fucking... I don't know. Maybe it's because he wasn't that famous. I don't know. Yeah, fucking Lakari. I was not going to get that shit. Bro, does anyone even fucking remember this? Does anyone even care about this anymore? Right? Is anyone even keeping track of what he's doing? What he's up to? Bro, I just went to his channel. This is like the newest video on his channel. It's from a year ago. Craziest VR date night ever. Please. This is how it starts. Look at this guy, man. Look at him. Oh my God! How did anybody ever think that he didn't have CP on his computer?
Right this way,
Look at this guy. Oh, hello. What's your name? Oh my God. Oh my God. Really? Okay. All right. Well, that's the video, man. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is there any hope for Gen Alpha? If this is what Gen Z wants, imagine Gen Alpha. Shit. Y'all ain't even go.
This is it.
What's up, everyone? Cam Scattaboo. We're here today to rip some packs, check out box.
So now we're going to do new. All hell is breaking loose as Donald Trump's ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo are ramping up their efforts to terrorize the United States of America before the Super Bowl. The Trump regime has threatened to send ICE and Border Patrol to terrorize people at the Super Bowl. Also, at the Winter Olympics in Milan, there are major protests there as a result of the Trump regime purportedly sending ICE agents out there as part of a security detail. Some in the Trump regime deny that's the case and say it's just DHS Special Services. But the people in Italy aren't buying that as well. They booed J.D. Vance and Usha Vance at the opening ceremony. I want to show you what's taking place across this country right now as you have ICE and Border Patrol agents are literally kicking dogs. They are torturing pets now as well and breaking the ribs of animals, of care and comfort animals to people. Because these Border Patrol terrorists are just that. These are the tactics that they're engaged in. Take a look at what happened in Memphis, Tennessee, where the U.S. Marshals, acting on behalf of the DOJ right here, start kicking a dog. Here, play this clip right here.
I'll take
That's the Trump Gestapo for you right there. Let's take a look at what's going on in Minneapolis here, where you'll see there's no change of tone. There's no ramp down, as people in Minneapolis will tell you. I mean, sure, you don't have Bavino there, but you have ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo. They sure as heck are torturing people. Our friends and partners on the ground, Status Quo News, they've been doing such a good job. They captured this footage. Remember to subscribe, not just to our YouTube channel and help us get to 6 million subscribers. Subscribe to Status Quo as well. Play this clip.
Hey, back up. Back up. Stay safe.
They're pointing handguns at the drivers in the vehicle right now.
No. Hey, back. You guys need to stay back. Record, but you have to get back. Hey, open the fucking door. You need to back up a little bit more. Hey, get back.
Oh, I'm on offense. I'm hard, bro.
You get back.
That's the same agent from yesterday. That's
back up here. You guys are make sure you stay back.
Good one.
Listen to pressure, good.
That's fine.
I need to get a little bit closer.
I recognize you. Put your crest down. You're fine. If you got crest, pull them out.
Thank you.
Legitimate, please. Okay. A lot of fake ones out there. I understand. So you know, these guys were all threatening us yesterday with handguns. So
these people in the car were threatening you with handguns?
Yeah. We know.
So, oh, you mean like with hand symbols? Pulling them out, trying to engage us. Pulling out literal guns. No. Taking, assuming that we were going to do something. So, that's why they're being ID'd right now. Oh, guys. Are you guys looking for these specific observers from yesterday's events, or did you happen across them today?
Just got lucky. That's what you want to call it.
So at first I showed you Memphis, Tennessee, then Minneapolis. Let me show you what's going on in Texas right here, where you have ICE and Border Patrol goons, Gestapo, SS, Nazis, call them whatever you want, but they're terrorists. They raid a home without a warrant. They just open the door. They start terrorizing the people in the house. The people in the house like, get the heck out of here. Who are you? You don't have a warrant. And as they're leaving, the family members taping them. And then the ICE Gestapo agent just starts brutalizing the guy. And it's all caught on camera. Here, watch this.
This is, man. Otherwise, that's the West Coast. Good, right.
And Border Patrol. Our tax experts keep more money in your business, so you have more time for your business. Less tax stress, more open houses. Less tax hassle, more oat lattes. Less tax time, more grooming. Oh, Gestapo break the glass door in order to enter an apartment complex and attack U.S. citizens here. Let's play this clip.
Yeah, you can't get in here because you have to live here. I'm telling you about it. I'm taking you. I'm taking the fucking people now. We gotta take pictures. You can't tell me to fight business. You did the business. What you did. You feel bad? You feel bad? Yeah, I'm sure. You're a fucking guy. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking guy.
Obviously, in terms of the medical care that can be provided after they engage in their horrific acts. I mean, most notably, we know when the ICE Gestapo killed Renee Good. They deprived her of medical treatment and care that actually could have kept her alive after they engaged in the heinous shooting. And we're seeing this at large in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and throughout the country as these ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo, they're not trained in first aid. They don't know what to do. And they're also preventing medical professionals from executing their Hippocratic oaths to be able to help in these situations and to save lives and to render care in emergency situations. So you have it on these situations where ICE is actually inflicting this pain and terror on individuals. And then you also have ICE and Border Patrol terrorizing medical facilities and standing in front of hospitals and intimidating migrants and people in general who are getting profiled from actually getting care and showing up because they fear that they're going to go to a hospital, they're going to be rounded up. I want to remind everybody about this video that went viral. It's a state senator, Dr. Matt Klein. He's a state senator from Minneapolis in the Mendota Heights region. Take a look at this press conference where he talks about what happened with Renee Good.
This morning, I learned for the first time through an NPR story that Renee Good still had a pulse 8 minutes after she was shot by an ICE agent. And yet, the offer to administer aid from a physician on the scene following his Hippocratic oath was denied. I can't say how much that stirs the blood of everyone behind me here as we try to fulfill our obligation, our oath, and our duty to care for the people of Minnesota. And I believe it stirs the blood of every patriotic Minnesota who knows how we treat each other in this state. So that is what we are here to speak to today as healthcare professionals.
This not get enough attention. I want to bring in State Senator Dr. Matt Klein, works at the Mayo Clinic, internal medicine doctor, hospitalist there. You represent the Mendota Heights area, and you're running for Congress in the 2nd Congressional District, currently held by Congresswoman Craig, who's running for that Senate seat that Senator Smith is vacating. But let's talk first about the press conference that you had, and what I think is not getting enough attention, which is ICE and Border Patrol are adding to the pain, suffering, and causing deaths, preventable deaths, after they engage in these heinous crimes by not rendering aid and preventing aid from being rendered.
Absolutely. We saw both at the death of Renee Good and also at the death of Alex Preddy. There were providers on scene who were prevented from administering aid, and who knows, in particular with the case of Renee Good, what impact that might have had, since we know she had a pulse several minutes after the shooting. And of course, what also developed out of that press conference, the 50 or so physicians behind me wanted to share their stories that people are terrorized, afraid to come into clinics or into hospitals because they're afraid they'll be snatched, so they're staying home with acute conditions.
My bad, that was greedy, but it's over. They just lost to a team in the 70s.
Allowing their jaundiced babies to go untreated. And once they get to a hospital or a clinic, ICE is completely buffoonish. They are completely overstepping the boundaries of where they should be in public areas, stepping into private patient rooms, sometimes accosting individuals in the middle of care. And I tell you what, I've been a doctor for 35 years. I've worked with law enforcement and never had a problem. There's a clear understanding of how you conduct yourself professionally so that you can perform your duties and not interfere with medical care or patient privacy. And these guys have no concept.
Oh, my bad. I tried to like all you niggas games.
Decades you worked with law enforcement who don't wear masks, who are trained in how to respond when people are injured or bleeding out or experiencing these things, and it's dealt with through protocols and procedures, and there's ways to do it. So when Donald Trump's Border Patrol,
them niggas say I'll run with them again.
It's frantic, and these scenes are so chaotic, and that's why we don't know what we're doing. I mean, you respond, what are you talking? I mean, this is why people are trained. This is why you have professionals. And it's kind of at that level.
They did stay the only two niggas I cared about, but I still left like a fan. Because I got to piss, man. I'll see you niggas in like 30 minutes on the next game, man.
Yeah, we heard that from law enforcement.